All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning to the entire world of business or investing in Nigeria, wherever it is you're listening from. This is Follow the Money, brought to you by Nairametrics. My name is Ugo Dre, and of course, we do this every Monday, 8 to 8:30 on this channel. Of course, you can follow this episode or previous episodes on our YouTube channel, Nairametrics TV. If you're not following that channel already, come on, you gotta follow it. Follow it and turn on your notifications for several other podcasts that we have for you. We're always creating wealth through information at Nairametrics. That's what we do. And so if you're looking to create some good wealth for yourself, information is one of the most important things you must have. And that's what we do at Nairametrics. All right. So, of course, we do also have the Follow the Money website. If you're not subscribed to it yet, just go on there, ftm.ng. That's an exclusive website, by the way, and that is where I share my own stock picks, my stock recommendations, and interesting insights on the market. Yeah, so it's strictly for subscribers of Follow the Money on radio. So if you're a Follow the Money fan or somebody who loves the show, then you do want to subscribe to that channel. Don't be asking me, what do I invest in? What do you think about this stock? What do you think about? Just go there. All my thoughts are right there on that website because I can't attend to everyone. All right, what a busy week. It's the month of June. Welcome to June, everyone. We've just survived May. You remember when at some point in the show I said that people always say, sell in May and go away. I don't know if that's what you did, but it looks like people were buying in May and not going away. But hey, so we start, of course, with the week. NGX broke the 110 band during the week. The all-share index surged 2,713 points to close at 111,000 points, which was a 2.49% gain. Month-to-date return was up 5.62, and looks like investors did not sell in May and go away. It looks like they bought in May and not just buying, they did buy kind of high. I know you'd say, well, whoever is buying is also selling. Well, I agree, but so they did buy in May and didn't go away. Trading volume was also up 3.7 billion shares during the week, a 25% jump from the week before. So market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange for the first time I think this is probably the first time, I hope I'm not just making too much noise, but it's at 70 trillion. 70.4 trillion. I can't recall the exchange being that valuable. I'll have to check that data. We'll have to check that data. But it's at 70.4 trillion during the week, which is significant because it's now above the 70 trillion mark. So the entire Nigerian Stock Exchange is valued at 70.4 trillion, which if you let's just divide that number by 220, which I think is basically Nigeria's GDP in Naira. That gives you about 70 divided by 220. Do you have your calculator with you? That's like 31% of Nigeria's GDP. That is what the exchange is. That's what the value of the exchange is at the moment. Not that bad. That there are some countries where their entire market capitalization, stock market, is more than their GDP. Yeah, so that just shows you the room for growth for Nigeria's stock market. If most of the companies that are unlisted end up being listed, we could have a market that is more valuable than our GDP. And the funny thing is that when your market is very valuable or more valuable than your GDP, then your GDP somehow inevitably start to track your market capitalization, because as those companies get bigger, they mop up more capital, they produce more, and when they produce more, your economy just tends to grow even more. You see that? All right, so during the week, there were 56 gainers, up from 52 last week, and there were 44 losers, slightly up from 41 the week before. In terms of the index performance, performance, the NGX Premium Index gained 0.11%, and that was led by MTN, Lafarge, and Zenith Bank. Those are three stocks in my watch list, in my portfolio as well. I see, I just gave that out. This is sort of information I give to my subscribers on ftm.ng. FTM. Follow the money.ng. It's not follow the money like word or ftm.ng. Yeah, so NGX 30 index plus 2.25% gain, and NGX main box index plus 3.81% gain. Of course, sector highlights. The consumer goods sector stole the spotlight, gaining 3.78%. Thanks to stocks like Northern Nigerian Flour Mills. That stock gained 17% 1 week alone. And of course, Honeywell, Nigerian Breweries, Boa Foods, and International Breweries all gained 10% during the week as well. Insurance stocks also rose, driven mostly by Sovereign Trust Insurance, popped 12% last week. And the banking index also just eked out a small gain of 0.6%. Industrial goods up 0.35%. And then, excuse me, oil and gas index fell 2.05%, the only major sector in red during the week. So who were the top gainers last week? I like to start with the top losers. So let's go down to the top losers. We had stocks like Triple G, Marriott, CWG, all losing 10%. And then Skyway Aviation, 11%. Seplat did lose 11.17%. Whisper. I kind of like that Seplat has lost a little bit, because that could just be a buying opportunity. I hope you didn't hear that. Anyway, Seplat lost 11.17%. We will be looking at Seplat. Multiverse and industrial gases down 15.56%. By the way, Seplat deal with buying Mobile was the deal of the year at the Nairametrics Capital Market Awards. So that's one company that we do admire as well because of how they're growing. Nigerian and Nama were down 18.17%. Legend Internet, they continue to lose value since they got listed. They kind of popped when they originally got listed, but looks like the people who own the company or who own the shares before they got listed have been dumping. Don't know why. We might want to look into this and find out what's going on there. But that share price is down 18.95%. And then Abbey Mortgage Bank just all of a sudden is smack right on my radar. And you want to look out for my Abbey Mortgage Bank article sometime this week. Because it's down 26.87%. I want to know what the heck is going on in there, because like I always say, it's not when stocks are down that you run away. That's when you want to look into it and find out what's going on. Could be just a buying opportunity right there. And so Abbey Mortgage Bank is smack right in our radar. And in terms of other gainers, in terms of the top gainers, that's the green side of this. We just left the red side of the aisle, so we're now on the green side. And Sovereign Trust up 12.5%. FTN Cocoa, I don't know who's buying the stock. 12.72%. I don't know who's buying. Interesting to see. McNichols up 13.54%. NACO 13.37%. And Aradel Holdings up 15.22%, and ABC Company up 18.87% as one of the major top gainers during the week. We also have other gainers as well. When they're done, Omatech Ventures, the CEO, the founder, by the way, did get an award as well, a posthumous award at the Nairametrics Capital Markets Award. So we recognize some of the good things that they were doing, or that she did, as one of the original OGs of the stock market. And Red Star Express gained 23.99%. And the top gainer of the year of the week, actually, none other than University Press. Yep. University Press was the top gainer for the week with 35.32%. All right, yes. So those are the top 10 gainers. We're going to go as well to the top gainers in May, if time permits. We're going to do that as well. The stocks that gained the most in the entire month of May, maybe in the second half of the show. But let's move on. So what were the major actions during the week? MTN got its credit ratings affirmed by GCR rating agency. Honeywell Flour Mills released its audited accounts. So if you're a shareholder of Honeywell Flour Mills, you might want to go look at that. Northern Nigeria Flour Mills also released his audited accounts. That's probably why the share price did pop during the week as well. We did say it gained 17%. Because of this. And then here's Holden. There's some news, a bit of news about them, which I'm going to get to in the second half of this show as well. So now that the NGX has broken the 110,000 resistance and market cap now above 70 trillion, interesting to see how stocks end the first half of the year, if they're going to end it on a positive note. But May, as everyone said, everyone felt like it's going to be one of those months where stocks are going to shed, some points, but did not. May ended up being good, driven mostly by consumer goods, and even though we did have a little bit of pullback, but May was such a good month for stocks. And so we should be repositioning for June. Looks like it's going to be an interesting June. Remember, we're getting into the summer period where people are trying to simmer a little bit. But maybe there are buying opportunities out there, and I'm going to be listing some of those stocks on my radar. Not just Nigerian stocks, foreign stocks as well, on my personal blog, ftm.ng. You might want to check that out. We're going to be right back, and when we're back, we're going to be talking about some companies and what they did during the week. And of course, if time permits, we're going to be looking at the top 10 best performing stocks for the month of May. You can't see that anywhere, trust me, only on Nairametrics. Be right back. All right, welcome back to Follow the Money, brought to you by Nairametrics, of course. And we go right into the news of the week. So we start straight up with FCMB. FCMB launched its 70 billion commercial paper offer during the week. Series 1 and 2 commercial paper issuance, targeting 70 billion, of course, from the capital market. It's all part of a broader 100 billion commercial paper program and fits into the bank's capital raising strategy aimed at boosting its funding capacity. I do like FCMB Bank, one of those banks that has been there for years, for decades, and interesting that they have been riding the curse as a tier 2 bank as well. So also did quite well in their capital raising activity a few weeks ago, actually. Here are the key details of the current offer. Tenor, they do have a 180-day tenor for Series 1 and 268 days for Series 2. Yields are around 23% per annum for Series 1 and 24.75 for Series 2, all annualized. So what it means is that if you invest in the 180-day program, then they're going to be paying 23%. Interest rate, of course, is annualized, so it's per annum, so you have to divide that by 2. So that is roughly 12%. That's what they're going to pay you for that. So if you give them 10 million, they're going to give you 12% of that, 1.2 million for, let's say, for 6 months, right? That's like 180 days. So if that's the kind of investment you want to be doing, then you want to talk to your broker or your bank so that you can put the money. It's a solid bank, so no need to be worried that your money won't come back. Oh, by the way, did I say that? Yeah, of course. This program is purely my opinion. You always have to check your own, investment advisor, or do your own research. Like they always say, do your own research. Our job here is just to give you the information that you need as well, in case you might be missing out. Back to this, minimum subscription is 5 million. So if you have less than 5 million, you should just put that money in your mutual fund and let your mutual fund investor help you, perhaps invest that money. And if you're probably someone who's not very good at investing as well, you can always put your entire money in a mutual fund and they can get you, probably better deals. But if you're somebody who just likes to invest on your own, you can put that money yourself. Just call your banker or your broker. Not that difficult at all. Tell them you just want to buy the FCMB commercial paper, and subscription ends in tomorrow, actually, June 3rd, 2025. By the way, the paper is rated by Augusto and Co. And let's always remember that commercial papers do incur some taxes. So this is going to be that 10% withholding tax and a 0.5% custody fee as well. So that's FCMB. And then there was also another major news during the week. Here's Holden, which is owned by the quintessential billionaire, Tony Lumelu, also tightened his grip on UBA. TOE, who, aka the Lion, is not holding back at all. So he's buying more shares of his bank. And so, probably shows confidence in his bank. And so according to the information, to the disclosure last week, Here's Holding bought 45 million shares of UBA valued at about 1.5 billion naira. Shares were acquired at about 34.3 naira per share. And before that acquisition, Here's Holding was the single largest shareholder of UBA with 5.3% stake, and that has gone up to 5.43%, I beg your pardon, based on this acquisition that has just gotten. So they do have about 1.86 billion shares, if I'm not mistaken, of the bank, one of Nigeria's largest banks. Of course, it's a Fuga's bank. And did also win the award of Multinational Company of the Year. UBA is everywhere. UBA is all over Africa. UBA is also in New York and in Dubai. So it's one of those few banks that has a footprint globally. And so, obviously, they just had to win that award, right? Yeah. So, what else? UBA's Q1 2025 earnings was quite solid. Just a little bit of a recap. Pre-tax profit was up 31% to 204 billion year on year. And so, that's a bank that it's pretty solid. In terms of deposit, they're one of the top 3 banks from a deposit perspective with 22.8 trillion massive deposits. That's what the bank is sitting on. And of course, its total assets is at 31.7 trillion naira. That's solid number. So Here's Holding, of course, is family owned. And according to their disclosure, they do have over 15 trillion in assets under management across various sectors: power, healthcare, real estate, and of course, finance. Just imagine if they list Here's Holding on its own. Kind of reminds me of Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. So they do also own different companies across different sectors and are listed as a company its own. So, who knows? Maybe one day, TOE might just decide to list Here's Holding. But it's one of the largest, family-owned businesses in Nigeria. All right. So, Custodian investment was also in the news during the week, and they did have one insider buying shares as well. One of their directors, he also runs Toyota Nigeria, by the way. His name is Olakunle Adeojo. I'm sure some of you might be familiar with that name. One of those very quiet billionaires in Nigeria. He acquired 150 million shares of Custodian. Custodian is one of the largest insurance companies in Nigeria. Also one of my favorite stocks, by the way, insurance stocks. And the purchase was valued at 2.98 billion, and they did disclose this transaction officially as well, so it wasn't like it was a secret. And he bought at 19.84 naira per share, and wasn't like he just bought it once. So they were over a period, 10 million shares, 35 million shares, and on and on and on. And Good acquisition for him, totaling 150 million shares. He already owned 15.7% stake in the company, so he's just upped his ante, man. And so, based on our analysis, his stake is around 18.3% at the moment. So that is one man that is controlling that insurance company, was the largest insurance company in Nigeria. You see, a lot of people just know people who are controlling banks. You always know Tony Lumilu, for example, is controlling UBA, Jim Ovia, Zenith Bank, Otadala, First Holding or First Holdco, Wigwe and Ikemokwede, Access Bank. So same thing, insurance companies also have people who are firmly in control. And so it looks like this is one of those ones that somebody is fully in control of that company. So just for context, in terms of share price return, 2024 was a very good for Custodian, up 90%. And then Q1 this year, they've already done 12 billion in pre-tax profit, up 3%. Custodian was on our radar 3 weeks ago. I think we did an article on it, and that stock just popped. Who knows? Maybe it was also because of this purchase. It's one of the better performing stocks in the month of May. Another solid news as well during the week. VFD Group, also one of my favorite group of companies. I do know that the CEO of that company building it he always has this Warren Buffett mindset as well. If you go to his office, actually, his name is Nonso Okwala. He has this Warren Buffett picture at the back behind him, and I think he also has Tony's picture behind him as well. So one of those people who admires Warren Buffett. And so his company, a financial holding company as well, also disclosed that a majority shareholder by the name Osnon, sounds like a tongue twister there, Osnon Capital Limited, upped its stake by acquiring 13.2 million shares. Osnon. Sounds like Nonso's name. Does it? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Anyway, so Osnon Capital upped the stake, acquiring 13.2 million shares in a deal worth 211 million. And the shares was acquired at 16 naira per share. And Osnon's ownership of VFD is now up from 19.12% to 20.17%, bringing the total shareholding to 255 million shares by the company. A number of things has been happening in VFD over the last few months. In February, VFD injected 5 billion naira into VBank, one of its subsidiaries banks, to scale up operations and drive innovation. In March, the board also approved new investments in Abi Mortgage Bank, Bundle Loyalty, spelled BVNDLE, a growing e-commerce company, and they also hit green light on fresh funding for their outside Nigeria subsidiaries, VFD UK and VFD South Africa. So looks like they're also intent on expanding beyond Nigeria. In 2024, the company reported an 11.2 billion pre-tax profit, flipping from a 1 billion loss the year before in 2023. Q1 already, we've seen pre-tax profit at 4 billion, up from 3 billion same period last year. So this is one stock to watch. Not yet in my watch list, but it's one to watch. One to watch. In terms of share price is up 9%. Was up 9% in 2024, but remember that they did have share price adjustment, so you might want to check that pretty well. So looks like Osnon Capital is accumulating shares, of course, basically solidifying the shareholding. And like I said, I suspect that name sounds like Nonso's name. So it could be like, is it Nonso in reverse or something? I don't know. Maybe it's just me being crazy, but it just kind of sounds like it. Like if you flip Nonso backwards, it sounds like Osnon, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. Time is almost up, so we're going to go to the next story here. Foreign investors. We did notice foreign investors pulled back during the week as well. There's a foreign portfolio report that came out and shows that foreign investors, pulled back 92.4% in April. That means that they did exit Nigeria a lot. But the stock market hasn't really relied on foreign foreign investors, to be honest. It's basically been institutional investors and retail investors in Nigeria that's been driving this market. So really, I mean, like, we don't care, really. We don't really care, you know. But interesting to track that, because when they come back, share prices do go up. So it appears they were the ones that were selling in May and Nigerians are buying in May. I don't know, or in April, but looks like foreign investors pulled back in the month of April based on the data that we have seen. So domestic investors are basically holding the line, 87% of all trading activities. All right, so time is really tight. I was going to give you the hottest stocks in May, but maybe I'm just going to reserve that for the FTM subscribers. So if you go to the FTM website later today, you're going to see an exclusive video as well, where I'm going to be giving you the best performing stocks in May as well. Okay. Some freebies could be on Nairametrics as well as an article, but as a video, you are likely going to see it on the FTM website exclusively. Hot stocks in May and hotter stocks this year so far. You want to check them. Why is it important? Because you want to know if the stocks are in your portfolio, or whether you should be looking at them for the second half of the year, because most times when stocks do very well, when they are hot, they stay hot all year round. So you might not want to miss out on that. All right. So, of course, this has been Follow the Money, brought to you by Nairametrics. So it's every Monday, 8 to 8:30 on this channel. And then you can catch this particular episode on our YouTube channel, Nairametrics TV. Just go on there and you will see this episode and previous episodes as well as other shows that we have on FTM. There's going to be a publication today. I think there is a money brief by me looking at Tinubu's presidency over the last 2 years from an economic perspective. How well has he done? And we're relying strictly on data. This is no sentiment, no subjectivity. It's just based on the data that we're seeing. And we're going to look at the data today versus the data before he came in. And let's see whether we're moving in the right direction or not. All right, this is Follow the Money, brought to you by Nairametrics. Until we do this again next week, do have a profitable week ahead. Goodbye.